Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer, and this is the avgeeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, live from Raleigh, North Carolina, where we watch old 16mm films, either things that I'm transferring live.
Welcome everybody.
Again,
I'm Skip Elsheimer, and this is the avgeeks.
All right. Part of that new thing that I'm still learning. Anyways. Yeah, so we've got things that we've digitized in the past. So this last film that we just watched is something from the Cornet collection that we have temporarily fostered and are scanning. And so that was raw footage that was shot. It could be outtakes, could be stuff they used in the original production, but they all put them all together onto these big reels with white tape. So that white tape sometimes falls apart, sometimes causes issues with scanning. So there you go. This next film is something that was donated to us by the Riff Tracks people. And so it's missing the title. It was written on the outside. It said Factory Safety, but I'm not sure what it's called. And so let's watch it.
Superiors know of the efforts and good work of the whole group.
So what? It's like any other responsibility of a supervisor. All you need to know is what to do. Then do it.
That's only part of it. There's also knowing when to do it.
If you have to tell them anything, tell them when you're good and ready. They'll find out anyway.
When people don't understand what's going on, they feel confused and uncertain. They're likely not to do their jobs well or safely. Watch how this supervisor handles the problem. He's going to tell the men what it's all about. You see, there's a new piece of equipment coming into the department. There'll be some reorganization of the work, some relocation of equipment, maybe even reassignment of jobs. He lets all his people know just where they stand. He squelches rumors before they start. Sometimes the supervisor knows that a face-to-face discussion with a particular man is the best way to handle a situation. The new setup may be a greater change for this man than for the others, or he may be a recognized leader of the group. So the supervisor wants to be sure that there are no questions remaining in this employee's mind.
Well, anyway, I remember one situation where this business of human factors doesn't mean a thing. Listening to people. All you have to do is just sit and listen. Anybody can do that.
It's not merely listening. It's also how you listen, and maybe even doing something about it. When you know that people like to be heard, even about little things, like a vacation schedule, you really listen and make certain you know what they're saying. Let them know that you're interested. Let them know if you're going to try to do something about any request they may have made. Right now, it's a safe bet that this man is going to be a lot more cooperative than when the boss wouldn't listen to him.
You sure handed out a lot of information, but all I need are facts. I never make a mistake. Make a mistake. Make a mistake. Make a mistake. Make a mistake.
But humans, they need a feeling of security. They need a sense of belonging. They need recognition. They need to know what's going on. They need to be listened to. That's what makes them human. That's what makes life worth living. He's no different. He's no different. He's no different. In fact, people are all alike.
So this is a view to our future when robots are our bosses and computers with mortarboards are telling us what to do. It's actually kind of interesting to see. This came up, I guess I just read that Amazon is getting employees to allow biometric data to be gathered on them, and using algorithms to dictate labor. It's problematic, as seen by this National Safety Council film. What do we got here? Speaking of business, here's competition in business. Yeah, speaking of Amazon, here's competition in business. This film was, I think, made in the 50s, Coronet film. So here we go.
Variety, as the saying goes, is the spice of life. Variety is also a key factor of competition in business. Competition provides freedom, freedom of choice, whether that choice is a hot dog with the works or a more sumptuous meal. Variety and competition are basic to one of our freedoms, the freedom to make a choice. There are nearly 200 million of us, each of us with different needs, different wants. To meet the demands of everyone calls for a large variety of goods and businesses. That means competition. Did you know that about 5 million businesses compete to satisfy our differing needs? Retail stores compete. Service companies compete. Distributors compete. And manufacturers compete. Competition in business has helped build our country. It's one of the keystones of our economy. Take steel, a basic industry. These mills are producing more and better steel than was dreamed of a decade ago. Why? Competition, that's why. The company producing better steel and selling it at a competitive price gets more orders because the better product attracts more buyers. So the consumer benefits from competition immediately. Then, with more orders for the product, profits and dividends to stockholders may increase, and there are more funds available for research to find ways to make even better steel. That's direct competition. Competition works indirectly, too. Aluminum, vanadium, and other metals compete with steel for some jobs. And so do concrete and plastics. Here's another example. In the transportation business, automobile manufacturers compete. They compete directly with other automobile manufacturers. Indirect competition may come from railroads, airlines, taxis, and bus lines. Every privately operated business enterprise has competition, sometimes direct, sometimes indirect. Take this business, for example, the Home Entertainment Corporation. Jim Marlin, president of Home Entertainment, will tell us what competition means to his company as he talks with a high school teacher, Al Taylor.
Hi, Al.
Hello, Jim. Nice of you to see me.
Oh, you always take time to talk with an old friend. Sit down.
Thank you very much.
What's your problem?
Well, I'm teaching economics this semester. What I want to show my kids is how competition in business has benefited us all. But I'm not giving them enough concrete evidence. Oh, I can teach the theory of competition, all right. But I want some actual examples, a real situation.
Well, I think I can help you.
You mind if I take notes?
Suit yourself.
Well, thanks.
See this? This is a home movie projector we call the Wizard. This projector got home entertainment into our stiffest competitive battle. You know, we make photographic equipment. Our factory turns out such things as cameras and projectors for the amateur photographer. Our business is successful, and we sell enough to show a good profit. About 2 years ago, we had something new to offer consumers. Like most business firms, we reinvest part of our profits to develop better products for our customers. In this case, our research chief and his staff had come up with a dandy, a new movie projector which had a built-in editor and splicer. This device would offer customers a means of editing their home movies on the same projector they use to show the movies. The idea sounded great, with better than average sales prospects. Within a few months, we had a working model to demonstrate to our sales staff. Well, they were happy, but there was an important question.
They probably wanted to know what the Wizard would cost the consumer.
Yes, but at the same time, we didn't know. So much depended on the cost of tooling up, our labor costs, packaging, and marketing costs. The retail price might be way over the price of our standard projectors. But since we'd be first with this particular kind of projector, we agreed to start production.
Well, I see where you're leading, Jim, but I'm not sure my kids will. They'll probably say that since your company is the only one producing the Wizard projector that, well, where's the competition?
Well, they'd have a point there. But business doesn't just stand still. Competition, stiff and direct competition, was just around the corner. After we delivered the first Wizard projectors to retail stores, our salesman called to get reactions from store managers.
Sales were good?
No, sales were disappointing. Sure, there was some buyer resistance to the price, but most of the trouble came from indirect competition. The familiar products the customers knew, like standard movie projectors and separate film viewers. If we wanted to sell our kind of combination projector and viewer, we'd have to help consumers to understand its advantages, its special features. But things got even hotter.
Direct competition, I'll bet.
Absolutely. We learned that the Eagle Projector Company was about to market a projector similar to the Wizard. Not only would they be in direct competition with us, but by omitting a few of the features we offered in the Wizard, Eagle could sell their combination projector at about 20% less than our price.
What'd you do?
We got to work. And at our next sales meeting, we saw some of the results. Our advertising man showed us a few of the ads that were part of a new advertising campaign. A campaign aimed at getting consumers to look at the Wizard. To attract more consumer attention, our product's designer had developed some eye-catching packaging. Attractive packaging and interesting advertising are some of the ways in which business meets competition. But we still had our biggest headache: direct competition from Eagle, whose projector had a much lower price tag than our own. In considering our problem, our research chief had designed a Wizard with a 400-foot reel capacity instead of 200 feet. This was twice the capacity of the Eagle projector. He had also made other changes in design to cut down production cost, a saving we could pass on to consumers. Through research, we had found a less expensive way to produce a better product. Now, Al, we come to a point you want to make sure your students understand.
What's that?
In a free enterprise system such as ours, competition works on several levels. Take our suppliers, for example.
I get it. Once your new design was worked out, you had to ask for competitive bids from factories that might make the component parts for you.
Right. We buy our industrial castings from specialists. Well, look. We got over 20 bids from manufacturers.
That many?
All of them competitive in one way or another.
Wow.
Like most businesses, making castings for industry is competitive. Majestic Corporation offered the lowest priced castings. Columbia Industrial promised earliest delivery date. Crown Metals offered attractive credit terms. Yes, all the bids we received were competitive, not always in price, but in service and quality, which often count more highly to both businessmen and consumers. At our next sales meeting, we introduced the new, more efficient model of the Wizard. Though the consumer cost of the Wizard was still a bit more than the Eagle projector, we felt we had the edge on our competition in quality and durability.
Well, was the new model more appealing to the consumers?
We had our answer to that question in the next few months from our salesmen. Our advertising campaign was working, bringing more people into the stores. And once they were inside, they were attracted by our new packaging. But what really appealed to them was the novelty of the Wizard. That was overcoming the indirect competition. Consumers also found that the quality of the Wizard more than made up for its slightly higher price. So quality was overcoming direct competition. Slowly, our sales figures began to rise. Our product was accepted by the consumers.
So that's your experience with competition. I think it will impress my kids. And they'll like the happy ending, too.
Okay, you're right, but that's not the end of the story, because there's no end to competition. No sooner was the new Wizard in the stores than Eagle put out a projector with an improved cooling system. So, we competed again. Our research department put in a year's hard work to give the Wizard a portable carrying case. Now, we don't know what our direct competition will be doing next, but you can be sure that we're working on ways to improve our product, too.
Your indirect competition isn't sitting still either. Manufacturers of other kinds of projectors are probably stressing their advantages. You're still getting competition from them.
Oh, sure. And we're getting overseas competition, too. Well, why not? Competition keeps us trying to make a better product to satisfy the demands of the consumer.
Well, I want to thank you for your help, Jim.
Well, I really should thank you, Al. The free enterprise system depends on a wider understanding of its principles, and of course, competition is one of them. It's helped us to a better, higher standard of living.
Well, I agree with you.
We should talk more about our business system, point up the facts that it really works, and works well. Don't you think so, too?
So I'm scratching my head to figure out, there was no Wizard projector. And it's interesting because it is definitely a projector / editor. So it has a lens, but it also has a little screen, and it has some splicing equipment on it. You know, I was thinking, is that a Bell & Howell? Is a Baya, B-A-I-A? I don't know how you pronounce that. Baya looks kind of close to what I saw. But I'm going to do some more digging because I like investigating. And obviously the Wizard logo, that W is really an inverted Motorola M. But Motorola didn't really make projectors like that. So I'm going to, and there was also not an Eagle brand. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging while we watch this next film, or I'm just going to keep digging until I find something. But this next film is another one from Riff Tracks. They sent me stuff that they couldn't use, basically. And so they're like, well, we don't want to throw these out. And I do work for them, scanning stuff for them. So it's a good relationship. All right, so here's When America Was Young.
The sound of an old-fashioned calliope beckons visitors each May to Greenfield Village's country fair of yesteryear. It's a remembrance from America's past when hard-working people took time off from their chores to enjoy simple outdoor pleasures. In small-town America, parades have always been an important part of any celebration. And so each day of the four-day event starts off with a parade through the village streets, led by a smartly uniformed marching band. Old-time atmosphere is provided by some venerable vehicles from the collections of the Henry Ford Museum that are brought out each year and put back into service, much to the delight of youngsters who've seen them before only in history books. The Conestoga wagon that opened the West is represented, and so are the animals that have been such an important part of farm life down through the years. For many city youngsters, it's often their first close-up look at horses, cows, and sheep. There's a lighter side, too, as young 4-H club members bring their pets to the fair to show them off. Later in the day, they'll demonstrate how well they've trained their canine friends. Sometimes they need a little reminding. Spring is the time for shearing wool from sheep, and for those who've never lived on a farm, it's quite a revealing experience. Now he's much cooler and ready for the hot summer sun. Another remembrance of early farm life are these insistently hissing steam engines. They were used for a variety of chores like threshing grain, sawing wood, and pumping water before the more modern internal combustion engines and electric motors came on the scene. Men who have devoted a good part of their life to steam use their experienced hands to ensure that the many examples of these early engines keep purring smoothly for captivated visitors. Home arts are represented, too, in a special craft area where youngsters might learn for the first time that butter comes from someplace other than the supermarket. Here they can see how Grandma made her own with seemingly endless cranking of the churn and then transferring it to a wooden bowl to squeeze out the buttermilk. Kids are fascinated, and before they're through, they'll even get a chance to taste it. In the old days, rugs didn't come from stores either. Grandma cut up worn-out wool clothes into narrow strips, and using a crochet hook, she pulled them through the weaving in a piece of burlap to make a really durable hooked rug. This lady is using the same technique that was used 100 years ago. Dolls were homemade in those days, too, and here you can see how it was done. There's one that served a multiple purpose. Right side up, it's Grandmother and the wolf. Upside down, it's the little girl who was visiting them, Little Red Riding Hood. Here's a steam engine that fascinates everyone. It's the one that powers the stern wheel Swanee. You could climb aboard and listen to the gentle swish of the paddle wheel. The country fair of yesteryear transports you back to the days that were. It's a May recollection at Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan.
That's It's a nice little promo piece for the Henry Ford Museum and all of that. This is something that would probably be sent out to TV stations to show, kind of promoting what's going on. Yeah, nice. I'm besides Riff Tracks, other people are also sending me films, which is great. I certainly am trying to deep dive into the films I already have, but it's nice to have people who are like, I don't need these films anymore. Do you want them? And so this one is wonderful. Big fan of this film because it is a lawnmower promotional film for Homco, which is a brand I've never heard of before, but this is a stellar, beautiful color film. So this is the Homco lawnmower promotional film.
Presenting the new look in power mowers for 1958. Homco with dramatic new styling, years ahead design, a complete line unequaled in quality and value. The sleek 18-inch JK50 with the new look. The new silhouette RM20 with the streamlined look. The powerful 22-inch RF22 with the rakish look. The luxurious 22-inch self-propelled RA222 with the smooth look. The sensational all-new power arm with rotary mower, rototiller, and edger attachments. The advanced design 24-inch model AE180, quality leader of all rotary riding mowers. The precision LP230 with the continental look of fine craftsmanship. The reliable 30-inch RR140 with the deluxe look of quality. Yes, for 1958, Homco sets the standard for the industry in reel-type mowers. This exclusive design, called box-type construction, sets our product apart from any on the market. Box-type construction is the backbone of all Homco reel-type mowers. The heavy curved brush bar and cutter bar with large bearing surfaces on each end are mounted to the steel side frames with shake-proof bolts, making a heavy-duty box. Note the eccentric positive type adjustment on the cutter bar. Once set, shock that throws an ordinary mower out of adjustment does not affect Homco. Here is a demonstration of how box-type construction works. When I jam this steel crowbar into the revolving reel, the mower remains in perfect alignment. It still will cut paper like a fine pair of shears. Now let me show you the finest reel on the market. The shaft is special alloy steel of high tensile strength. Cutting blades are Oz tempered. Spiders are extra heavy high tensile steel, as all critical stress points on the mower. This reel is finished ground on the bearings, making it absolutely concentric. A good reel type mower is only as strong as its component parts. Our ball bearings on the reel shaft are precision ground, moisture-proof, and lubricated for the life of the mower. The ring and pinion gears are made of copper zinc alloy, giving high tensile strength, over twice that of cast iron. This hardened steel insert and the hexagon pawl have completely eliminated pawl and pinion problems. Just listen to its clear ring. Ordinary mowers are adjusted at the rear roller only. The Homco mower is adjusted at both rear rollers and side frame, keeping the platform level at all cutting heights. All controls are fingertip. That's why Homco for 1958 sets the standard for all reel-type mowers. Homco quality is clearly evident in its model LP230. built in a complete range of cutting widths, 18, 20, and 24 inch. All with the latest type Briggs & Stratton engines. Raise the magic handle to start. Mowing with the Marksman is far easier than you have ever imagined. Lower the magic handle. Stops automatically. Clutch can be operated manually if desired. A perfect low-cost riding mower for level lawns is the TD170 24-inch Billy Goat. At a price only slightly more than a walking model, the Billy Goat is the mower every member of the family wants to use. It's comfortable with a rugged Briggs & Stratton engine, handy throttle, automatic clutch, reinforced front wheel yoke, and all of Homco's other advanced features. The RR140 30-inch Lawn Traveler, unmistakably the best buy of the riding reel-type mowers. Homco's superlative craftsmanship is seen throughout. The rugged all-steel chassis is built for years of endurance. Extreme flexibility of cutting unit for mowing on rough or hilly ground. Wide wheelbase for stability. The famous trouble-free Briggs & Stratton engine. Mow in comfort with the greatest of ease. A full range of speeds forward and in reverse as well. Remember, too, you can attach these accessories and give your mower the added utility of serving a multiple purpose in lawn grooming. And for 1958, Homco sets the standard for the industry in the rotary mowers, too. First, let me show you the basic design of all rotary mowers. There are three general types of discharges on all rotary mowers: front, rear, and side. All rotaries mow only the front 180 degrees of the circle, as marked here in the green areas. On the staggered wheel or front discharge mower, here is the position of the blade as it starts to cut. This is one cutting edge. The grass is carried approximately 130 degrees when the discharge begins. Grass cut between here and 180 degrees cannot be discharged until it is carried through the entire arc, causing a tremendous loss in horsepower. Under most conditions, grass cannot all be carried through this arc. Most of it is dropped off in windrows, and if the grass contains moisture, it builds up along the frame sides, then falls off in globs. On a rear discharge mower, this is even more prevalent. All 180 degrees of mowed grass must be carried to the rear chute, causing most loss of horsepower, windrowing, and globs. On a side discharge Homco mower, all grass is discharged immediately, using minimum horsepower. Our large chute is set slightly back of center, enabling all grass clippings to be discharged at high velocity, eliminating windrows, completely efficient. There are also two basic wheel designs on rotary mowers: staggered and balanced. Exhaustive test by our engineers concluded that the staggered wheels cause the mower to pitch forward in the right front corner on rough terrain, causing an uneven high-low cut. They also leave 3 wheel tracks. On the balanced Homco wheel design, this does not happen. These parts are from our model RA222. Here is an all-steel Homco frame next to a cast aluminum frame. Now watch the demonstration of what happens when they are struck with a heavy object such as bones or rocks when mowing. Note the indestructible Homco steel isn't even damaged, while the brick broke the aluminum, making it extremely dangerous in use. All Homco rotaries are steel. Now let me show you why Homco rotaries are unequaled in price, quality, and performance. All critical construction points on the main frames are reinforced with extra heavy gauge high tensile steel. All Homco rotaries have a wide range of cutting heights. Our trouble-free reel-type drive is also used in our self-propelled rotaries. This cutaway transmission and drive is totally enclosed for dust-free operation. Service-free, long-life nylon belt is engaged by positive idler-type clutch. Gears in the two-speed transmission run in oil, the same as your automobile. And here's the most sensational development since the invention of the rotary mower, the exclusive Flexor blade with the free swinging tips. Let me show you how it works versus a one-piece blade. When you hit a solid object with a one-piece blade, like that, what happens? Correct. The shaft or blade bent, setting up the vibration and an expensive repair bill. Now watch what happens when you hit the same object with the Homco Flexor blade. Note, the engine doesn't stall, no damaged blade or bent crankshaft, and the operator can continue to mow. That's why we say Homco in 1958 has set the industry's rotary mower standards. The sleek, new economical JK50 matches higher-priced mowers feature for feature. Modern styling, its racy yet functional design offers the easiest operation. Built for small and medium-sized lawns, this lightweight trimmer-type rotary is packed with punch. Powered by a Briggs & Stratton engine, it mows the finest lawns carpet smooth. Homco's workhorse, the 20-inch RM20, is a heavy-duty exponent of the new look. 10-inch and 6-inch wheels make it America's most maneuverable rotary. If the mowing is extra rough, remove the front guard and the RM20 will slash through the toughest going. It's the all-purpose mower for fine lawns or for rural use, in weeds or along fence rows. The slim, trim RF22 Bearcat glides over larger lawns, cutting them down to size. The powerful Briggs & Stratton engine snaps into action. The large sight discharge chute expels grass clippings evenly without windrows. Because the Flexor blade extends beyond the wheels, it's as easy to trim with the RF22 as it is to mow the main lawn. The swift, sure pulse action of the self-propelled 22-inch RA222 Thunderbird is the greatest thrill in rotary mowing. The powerful engine drives the blade and the front wheels, giving maneuverability and effortless fingertip control. Start full range of mowing speeds and stop. Discover for yourself how completely you are in command of this versatile performer. Advance the throttle. Lower the clutch lever to move forward. There's no pushing. The self-propelled heavy-duty Thunderbird does the work. When you want to stop, merely raise the clutch lever. Then select your own speed. High gear for easy mowing or low gear for rugged, thick, or wet mowing. And now the sensational new Power Arm, the multi-purpose tool, perfect for home and farm use alike. For mowing, for edging, and for tilling. Use the Power Arm on a self-propelled rotary. Here's a power mower with everything. Everything you have a right to expect on a Homco. It's self-propelled with all features identical to the RA222. Is there a back-breaking edging or trimming job to be done? In minutes, you convert the Power Arm to an edger trimmer. Then edge or trim with unbelievable ease, leaving the lawn with a fine, finished appearance. But more, is there soil that needs tilling? Convert to a rugged rototiller. with husky ground pulverizing steel tines. The power arm becomes a hard-working garden tool, a source of pride to the homeowner, gardener, and farmer. But for inspired performance that whisks through any mowing job, it's the AE 180 Lawn Mobile. Only Homco has so many exclusive engineering features. Not a maze of drive belts that cause endless repair problems, but the exclusive variable speed, trouble-free planetary transmission with no gears to strip. One lever controls reverse and a full range of forward speeds from 0 to 4¼ miles per hour. Fingertip clutch provides the easiest maneuvering. Conveniently located cutting height adjustment. You start the all-new powerful 4-cycle gas engine. Mow on a safe 4-wheel, non-tip automobile-type riding mower. Its 24-inch cutting swath will mow an acre or more an hour. The extra-large discharge chute prevents windrowing. And its traction-type rear wheels takes it up hills and slopes in a breeze. The Lawn Mobile is both distinctive and highly functional, a new riding thrill. With fine mowers, people want other fine lawn tools. Homco's lawn sweepers are equally desired. The LS240 24-inch hand model is far easier to use and much more efficient than raking by hand. And the luxurious self-propelled 24-inch model PS124 lawn sweeper is perfect for effortless sweeping on the smallest or the largest lawns. Useful spring, summer, and fall for grass clippings, leaves, acorns, weeds, stones, and debris. An all-purpose sweeper that you merely follow. People have asked for economically priced edgers and trimmers. Homco has them. The NS91 Lawn Scout electric trimmer takes the hard work out of trimming. In a jiffy, it converts to an edger. The gas-powered 9-inch Lawn Scout is also 2 tools in one. No more bending, no more crawling, no more blisters. Edge with ease. Turn the blade horizontally and trim the same way. Homco is a nationally advertised brand name, known, purchased, and used by hundreds of thousands of quality-conscious customers throughout America who want the very best. Your Homco sales representative will give you full details of Homco's outstanding dealer demonstrator program. Homco is manufactured by Western Tool and Stamping Company, Des Moines, Iowa, the world's largest producer of power lawn mowers. Homco provides the fireworks in the mower industry. Homco sets the trend in power lawn mowing. Homco stands for extraordinary craftsmanship. Homco brings you the new look. Homco establishes the standard for today and tomorrow, and Homco establishes the standard for today and tomorrow in power mower beauty and performance. A leader leads, and Homco's daring new design is added proof of Homco's leadership.
So that last little snippet there obviously was zoomed out or overscanned, and you could see the sprockets on one side, and you could see the optical soundtrack on the other side. Kind of cool. There's different types of optical soundtracks, and that one is it's pretty neat. And it was multiple tracks, so that regardless of your alignment of your optical reader head, you'd get a pretty consistent sound. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2, and if you're off a little bit, then it's kind of muffled like that. Anyways, thanks, Mike, for posting a link to an ad for Homco mowers that was in Life magazine. It's pretty great. Big fan. Big fan. All right, so what do we got? Let's see. This one is a little bit longer, I think, but it's relevant. I probably should have shown this like a year ago, but here it is. Hand washing and patient care.
hands play an active and vital role in our living. They help to express tender devotion to our loved ones, to handle and care for the many objects around us. But as useful as hands are, they can also serve as vehicles for spreading disease agents from person to person and from place to place. The danger of spreading infectious organisms is especially great when caring for the sick and debilitated, whether in the hospital or in the home. Not only are sick individuals highly susceptible to infection, they also serve as sources of disease agents, even though the signs and symptoms of infection may not be apparent. When caring for the sick, the simplest way to prevent the spread of agents is to conscientiously practice hand washing, based on the fundamental principles of medical asepsis. The aim of this technique is to reduce the number of pathogenic organisms. It must not be confused with surgical asepsis, where elimination of all organisms is the goal. The primary principle of medical asepsis involves mechanical removal of dirt and microorganisms from the skin. To carry out this principle in hand washing, certain essentials are required: running water, soaps and related compounds, and friction. Running water is an important element since it acts to flush foreign material off the hands. The water temperature should be that which is comfortable to the skin. While very hot water may destroy some organisms, it can also cause chapping and breaks in the skin, thereby affording harborage for pathogenic microorganisms. Infection may then occur, thus increasing the danger of hands as spreaders of disease. Soaps and related compounds, due to their detergent properties, are also effective in the mechanical cleansing of hands. Soap lather permits water to penetrate the skin pores and wash away dirt and other foreign matter. Friction is still another aid in mechanical removal of organisms and is produced by vigorously rubbing together the hands and fingers. Where frequent hand washing is necessary, brushes are not generally recommended, since they tend to injure and excoriate the skin. Chemical destruction of microorganisms, or disinfection, is a means of attaining medical asepsis in hand washing. It must be borne in mind, however, that some chemicals will injure the hands. There are several soaps and detergents containing chemicals like hexachlorophene in specific strengths, which serve to inhibit the growth of bacteria without producing damage to the skin. Finally, the length and the frequency of the hand wash is an important consideration in achieving medical asepsis. Before and after caring for each patient, a thorough hand wash should be carried out. This is also important at intervals during patient care when there is danger of spreading organisms from one part of the body to another. The length of the hand wash depends upon the degree of suspected hand contamination, the use of soap or detergent, and the vigor of friction applied. 1 to 2 minutes is generally recommended. The demonstration to follow involves a hand washing procedure that can be used primarily in hospitals equipped with foot-controlled water faucets and liquid soap dispensers. First, it is important that patient care personnel distinguish between the clean and the contaminated objects in the facility. In this procedure, we will consider the clean objects to be hand lotion, paper towels, foot-operated soap dispenser, and water faucet. They will be touched only with clean hands. The contaminated objects are the sink bowl and the used nail cleaning sticks. During the hand wash, the nurse should use body mechanics which will permit comfortable operation of the foot pedals and prevent her uniform from touching the contaminated sink. Her position should be such that the soap lather and rinse water will fall into the bowl and not on the floor. Before the hand wash, all jewelry except a plain wedding band should be removed from the hands and wrists. Fingernails should be well groomed, and nail polish should not be worn. These precautionary measures will eliminate additional harborage areas for microorganisms. The area to be washed should extend about 1 inch beyond the line of contamination. In this case, the mid-forearm. First, with the foot pedal, turn on the water and wet the hands thoroughly. Next, apply liquid soap from the dispenser, working up a good lather by rubbing together the palmar and dorsal surfaces. 10 or more friction motions are suggested. With the fingers interlaced, continue with about 10 more friction motions. After a repeat rubbing of the palmar and dorsal surfaces, rinse the hands thoroughly, allowing the water to flow off the sides. Next, wet one forearm. And from the soap dispenser, apply liquid soap. Work up a lather employing a rotary friction motion. Now wet the other forearm and repeat the lathering as before. Rinse both hands and forearms, allowing the water to flow from the fingertips to the elbow. Once again, soap the hands and work up another lather. With an orange stick or the blunt end of a toothpick, clean all fingernails, carefully rinsing the toothpick after each finger. The blunt end is used since it lessens the possibility of injuring the soft tissues under the nails. It may not always be necessary to clean the nails each time the hands are washed. When finished, discard the toothpick and continue rubbing the hands with a friction motion. Now give both hands and forearms a complete and final rinse. With a paper towel, dry both hands and one forearm from wrist to elbow, using a patting motion. With a clean towel, again dry both hands and the other forearm. Use additional towels as needed. To complete the hand washing procedure, always apply a lotion to the hands and forearms. This helps keep the skin soft and free from chapping. Many hand-washing facilities frequently do not have foot-operated water faucets and soap dispensers. In such cases, hand-operated faucets and cake soaps are used. These require a slight modification of the hand-washing procedure. The faucet handles and the soap are considered to be contaminated. They should not be touched with clean hands. First, wet the hands thoroughly. Take the cake of soap and work up a generous lather using the same friction motion as demonstrated earlier. Retain the soap in the hands throughout the procedure. Rinse the hands, again allowing the water to flow off the sides. Now, wet and soap each forearm. Transfer the soap from hand to hand between each lathering operation. After a thorough rinse of each forearm, soap the hands once again. Holding the soap by the fingertips, rinse and let drop into soap container. Continue washing the hands and cleaning the nails, ending the procedure with a drying of both hands and forearms. With the last paper towel, turn off the water faucets. The towel will prevent recontamination of the hands by the faucet handles. In caring for sick and debilitated patients, it may not always be possible to carry out hand-washing procedures in which the principles of medical asepsis can be applied. In such cases, improvised methods are necessary in order to remove as much dirt and contamination as possible. For example, when caring for a patient in isolation and where running water from a faucet is not available in the room, an assistant may pour water over the hands during the hand wash. In some situations, it may be necessary to wash in a soap solution or other chemical. This method, however, is undesirable since mechanical removal of organisms by running water cannot be achieved. Emergencies may arise where there is no water available. Here, swabbing or rinsing the hands with 70% alcohol may provide a relative measure of cleanliness. As expedients, these improvised measures should be used only in emergency or disaster situations. A more desirable hand washing should be carried out as soon as possible. A conscientious practice of hand washing, whether done in the hospital, the home, or under emergency conditions, is a vital function in providing safer nursing care for the sick and debilitated. It is considered one of the most effective means for preventing and controlling the spread of disease-producing organisms. Although specific procedures and techniques of hand washing may vary, the basic principles of medical asepsis should remain constant. If the details of the procedures are kept simple and practical, effective hand washing can be performed.
Yay! How can a film that deals with so much wet be so dry? No, it's obviously very important, made for nurses, and obviously technology has changed a little bit, but some of the fundamentals are still there as far as washing hands. It hasn't changed that much in 70 years. Thanks for joining me today and watching these films. If you liked what you saw, or at least were intrigued by it, you can certainly buy us coffee. I'm pointing at the link right here at www.buymeacoffee.com/avgeeks. You can also hit like or subscribe or notifications or thumbs up or Yahoo or, whatever. And you guys tuning in, this is the reason that we do what we do. Collecting these films is one thing because we're kind of feel like we're saving some sort of cultural artifacts from our past, but really it's about you guys being receptive and opening your eyes to this nonsense. And I thank you for that. It wouldn't be as easy for me to do this without your support, and by support just being there and commenting. So thank you for that. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock, to watch more of these films. As always, we look inside the film can, and it tells us to please rewind and to love each other. And I would say love yourself as well. Give yourself some self-care, because, sometimes times are tough. So do that. I will be back tomorrow. Everybody take care.